Testing. There we go. I think we got audio now. I don't know what the bandwidth looks like. We'll test that out. We'll see. Alrighty. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm not sure if there's anyone watching, but let me verify something. Looks like we're healthy right now in terms of network connectivity. This is my first time streaming, so bear with me. We will be doing some TryHackMe today. Copy. Okay, so I think it's got to go in the settings right now and change something real quick. Okay, I think that is going to help us out a lot. Let's see. Look at chat. Catherine. Dice message retracted. Okay. Okay. Oops. Did you say something? I don't know if there's anyone in here, but if you can hear me, I would appreciate if you told me if my mic is working. So it says it is, but I don't really have a whole lot of feedback right now. Put my mic right there. Yeah, we're just gonna be doing the BurpSuite fundamentals, and if we get to do other modules, we will do them as well. But let me pull this up. you guys should be able to hear me though. Yeah, you guys can hear me. I just tested it out. Okay, let's do this. So, you just need to add this screen, then we can get started. Scene. Call this. You won't be able to see anything right now, but I'll fix in a minute. Window capture. That's fine. That's the correct one. That's why I blurred out all that stuff. I'm just gonna fit this. Transform, fit to screen. There we go. Cool. So now, should be able to add a scene. BTHM. Look at that. So now we got TryHackMe and that. And I'm just gonna put it right under here. There you go. Look at that. Cool. So yeah, just while we're streaming here, I don't expect too many people to come out tonight because I literally did not announce this anywhere. But that's why I did not announce it though, is I just wanted to make sure that we did a dry run and make sure that all the equipment is working and all the different softwares talking to each other. So I am the webcam is coming through my phone, so it's a little bit of an intricate setup I had to do to get that to work. But it looks really good. I mean, iPhone cameras are really good. So, my opinion, looks better than the old camera. So we'll see. We'll see. So we're just gonna start this video. It's just me making like a video basically while we are streaming. You guys can just see that process if you want to, of course. So we're gonna start. 3, 2, 1. Hello guys, it's Torres here, and today we will be doing TryHackMe's module for BurpSuite Basics. So I am streaming at the same time as I am recording this. It's the first time I do this, so we'll see how this goes. If you guys have any tips, anything like that, just put it right down below in the comments. So BurpSuite, the basics, right here it just says welcome. This particular room aims to understand the basics of the BurpSuite web application security testing framework. Our focus will revolve around the following key aspects. It says intro to BurpSuite, comprehensive overview of the various tools available within the framework, and detailed guidance on the process of installing BurpSuite on your system, and then also navigating and configuring BurpSuite. It says we'll also introduce the core of BurpSuite framework, which is Burp Proxy. It's important to know that this room primarily serves as a foundational resource for acquiring knowledge about BurpSuite. So this is just kind of an introduction to BurpSuite. And if you haven't heard of BurpSuite, well, that's what the next task is for. So what is BurpSuite? So in essence, BurpSuite is a Java-based framework designed to serve as a comprehensive solution for conducting web application penetration testing. It has become the industry standard tool for hands-on security assessments of web and mobile applications, including those that rely on APIs, application programming interfaces. So simply put, BurpSuite captures and enables manipulation of all HTTP/HTTPS traffic between a browser and a web server. So right here you have like a diagram of it. You have your, actually don't know what this is supposed to be, but I believe this is supposed to be your client, and you have a server, and essentially you have BurpSuite in between that, the client and the server, essentially being able to get like a request and then capture it and do whatever you want with it. It has different capabilities, right? So there's different editions of BurpSuite. There's the community edition, which is the one we're going to be using during this video. And then there's also the BurpSuite professional edition, which that one just costs money. I believe it's a subscription model, but I'm not sure. But that's just a tool that has more capabilities, which would be something that you would probably want if you're a business and you're being charged to do penetration testing, right? So right here, okay, so there's two. There's the professional and then there's enterprise. I'm sorry about that. So BurpSuite Professional is an unrestricted version of BurpSuite Community. So it has the automated vulnerability scanner, a fuzzer, brute forcer that isn't rate limited, saving projects for future use and report generation, built-in API to allow integration with other tools and restricted access to add new extensions for greater functionality, and access to the BurpSuite collaborator. So in short, BurpSuite Professional is a highly potent tool, making it a preferred choice for professionals in the field. All right. So community edition is a little bit locked up, and then you have professional of all these other different things. So BurpSuite Enterprise, in contrast to community, professional edition is primarily utilized for continuous scanning. So it sounds like something you would probably set up in a server, and it would just constantly, or not constantly, but regularly conduct scans throughout the network to just verify. So yeah, so it's just like similar to tools like Nessus, which it will give you like pretty much like a similar dashboard, and you can use time your scans. That way it's not scanning during like heavy usage of the network, right? To verify that. So it says which edition of BurpSuite runs on a server and provides constant scanning for target web applications. That's BurpSuite Enterprise. So BurpSuite is frequently used when attacking web applications and mobile applications, I believe was the sentence. There we go. Features of BurpSuite Community. So this is the edition we'll be using during this video. So we have the proxy. Proxy enables interception and modification of requests and responses while interacting with web applications. A repeater, another well-known feature. Repeater allows for capturing, modifying, and resending the same request multiple times. This functionality is particularly useful when crafting payloads through trial and error, e.g. SQL language injection, and we're testing the functionality of an endpoint for vulnerabilities. We have the intruder functionality, which despite rate limitations in BurpSuite Community, intruder allows for spraying endpoints with requests. It is commonly utilized for brute force attacks or fuzzing endpoints. Decoder offers a valuable service for data transformation. It can decode captured information or encode payloads before sending them to the target. While alternative services exist for this purpose, leveraging decoder within BurpSuite can be highly efficient. Compare. As the name suggests, compare enables the comparison of two pieces of data at either the word or byte level. While not exclusive to BurpSuite, the ability to send potentially large data segments directly to a comparison tool with a single keyboard shortcut significantly accelerates the process. And sequencer, typically employed when assessing the randomness of tokens, such as session cookie values or other supposedly random generated data. If the algorithm used for generating these values lacks secure randomness, it can expose avenues for devastating attacks. Beyond the built-in features, the Java codebase of BurpSuite facilitates the development of extensions to enhance the framework's functionality. These extensions can be written in Java, Python using the Java Jython interpreter, or Ruby using the Java JRuby interpreter. The BurpSuite extender module allows for quick and easy loading of extensions into the framework, while the marketplace known as the B App Store enables downloading of third-party modules. While certain extensions may require a professional license for integration, there are still a considerable number of extensions available for BurpSuite community. For instance, the Logger++ module can extend the built-in logging functionality of BurpSuite. Interesting. So I haven't used all these. BurpSuite is a tool I've used occasionally, but yeah, this is why I wanted to dig into this, to just try and understand more of its like advanced, and I mean these are introductory capabilities, right? So which BurpSuite feature allows us to intercept requests between ourselves and the target? So that's the proxy. And which burp tool would we use to brute force a logging form? So that would be the intruder, right? We'll ignore that capitalization. We're good. So installation. Yeah, looks like we're still going good. Good. Just gonna drink some water real quick. So BurpSuite is one of those tools that is very useful to have around, whether for web or mobile application assessments, pen testing, bug bounty hunting, or even debugging features in web app development. Here's a guide on installing BurpSuite on different platforms. If you use the attack box, BurpSuite is already installed. You can skip this step. So we're using Kali. Kali already comes pre-installed with BurpSuite already. So we don't really need to worry about that, but we can also install other, we can install through the repositories, right? But yeah, it looks like we can just go to the website right here, portswigger.net, be able to get the community, and then just download it. And here are some instructions on how to actually like download it on Linux. So you don't need to worry about this. If you have not looked at my video where I teach you how to create your own virtual machine with Kali Linux and get it all fully configured so that you can share folders between your host operating system and the virtual machine, make sure to check it out because it's a great resource to just figure out how to do that. And then you'd be able to do modules like this one and follow along if you'd like to. So dashboard, so this is kind of the main thing you'll be interacting with BurpSuite. So once you launch BurpSuite, set the terms and conditions. Next one allows you to choose the configuration for BurpSuite. You just want to keep it on default for now. On opening BurpSuite for the first time, you might encounter a screen of training options. Blah, blah, blah. We're good. Okay. So here it actually breaks down 4 different windows that you see when you first open up BurpSuite. So this window right here is your task. The task menu allows you to define background tasks that BurpSuite will perform while you use the application. In BurpSuite Community, the default live passive crawl task, which automatically logs the pages visited, is sufficient for our purpose in this module. BurpSuite Professional offers additional features like on-demand scans. 2. Event log. The event log provides information about the actions performed by BurpSuite, such as starting the proxy, as well as details about connections made through Burp. 3. Issue connectivity. This section is specific to BurpSuite Professional. It displays the vulnerabilities identified by the automated scanner. Ranked by severity, and filterable based on the certainty of the vulnerability. For advisory, the advisory section provides more detailed information about the identified vulnerabilities, including references and suggested remediations. This information can be exported into a report in BurpSuite community. This section may not show any vulnerabilities. So here you have 1, you have 2, 3, and 4. Event log, obviously really useful. And this task that's always running, which is the live passive crawl, one's always really good because you can just look at the whole structure. We'll see it in the future of the video. And then advisory just gives you some other errors or things that might be happening. Icon. All right. So what menu provides information about the actions performed by BurpSuite, such as starting the proxy, and details about connections made through Burp. So that one was the issue activity. I believe. Might be wrong. Oh, it was event log, I'm sorry. I read that correctly. Cool. So navigation. Here we go. So in BurpSuite, the default navigation is primarily done through the top menu bars, which allows you to switch between modules and access various subtabs within each module. These subtabs appear in a second menu bar directly below the main menu bar. Here's how the navigation works. Module selection. The top row of the menu bar displays the available modules in BurpSuite. You can click on each module to switch between them. For example, the BurpSuite proxy module is selected in the image below. So here you have the menu, just clicking on proxy, and then you also have subtabs. You can go, once he hits proxy, you can see the subtabs appear of intercept, HTTP history, and WebSockets history, and then some settings. And you can also just detach tabs through the window option. And here are some useful shortcuts. So which tab Control-Shift-P will switch us to? So Control-Shift-P is going to switch us to proxy. Proxy tab. Cool. So options. Before diving into the Burp proxy, let's explore the available options for configuring BurpSuite. There are two types of settings: global settings, also known as user settings, and project settings. So global settings, these settings affect the entire BurpSuite installation and are applied every time you start the application. They provide a baseline configuration for your BurpSuite environment. Project settings are specific to the current project and apply only during the session. However, please note the BurpSuite Community Edition does not support saving projects, so any project-specific options will be lost when you close Burp. So with our version, the community version, we won't be able to just like save projects and then reopen them as we want. They'll just disappear forever if you close it out. Here's just a screenshot of that, of the settings. This is in the settings window. You'll find a menu on the left-hand side. This menu allows you to switch between different types of settings. Right. Here he just clicked on scope and it just changes what he's looking at. It's worth noting that many tools within BurpSuite provide shortcuts to specific categories of settings. For example, the proxy module includes a proxy settings button that opens the settings window directly to the relevant proxy. Right, so like as we saw up here when they opened the tab for proxy, I mean I guess it's down here too, you'll just see the settings on the side on the sub tab bar. Cool. So in which category can you find a reference to a cookie jar? A cookie jar. they testing us here? What? I don't remember them mentioning anything about a cookie jar. Or are they just talking about cookies? They're just talking about cookies. Got it. I think they just want us to actually start going to Cali and looking at these things. So I'm just gonna go to Cali, put in our default credentials for the VM, and we're gonna open BurpSuite. Whoops. I don't know what I just hit. I want to open this thing. It's not. Okay, terms and condition. Sure. You signed away our life. Temporary project with defaults. It's not gonna keep any of this anyways. We got the cheap version. The poor man BurpSuite. There we go. So they want us, as you can see, we can see the subtabs that they were talking about, and the settings right here. So they talked about a cookie jar setting. I mean, they're just talking about cookies. Not sure which one they were talking about. You guys are learning with me here. We are all learning. For some of you, a lot of you will know a lot more than me. And you guys are probably yelling, dude, the cookie jar thing is right there. In which category you find a reference to a cookie jar? So here's the thing. We know that there's this searching thing right here. Look for cookies. I hate how it doesn't highlight where it sees cookie, but I'll remove secure flags from cookies, and then talking about process, and then sessions, there's a cookie jar. Okay, so a cookie jar is what stores all your cookies issued by the visitor website. Interesting. So that's sessions. So if we go back into here, I should probably be able to see that. Not sure why that got dark. Did not know you guys were seeing that so dark. Let me try and fix that for you. Okay. I think we might just have to keep it like that for now. Sorry about that. But you can see this screen, so that's good. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit more so you guys don't have so much trouble watching that. So yeah, the cookie jar is in the sessions tab. Cool. So in which base category can you find the updates subcategory, which control the BurpSuite update behavior? So we're gonna go back. Let's take that out. And there's an updating behavior. I'm gonna think it's updates then. Nope. Okay, base category for updates. So if we're looking at this, that's suite. Cool. So that was correct. And then right here, what is the name of the subcategory which allows you to change the key bindings for shortcuts in BurpSuite? Let's go back. And hotkeys is the name of the game. If we have uploaded client-side TLS certificates, can we override these on a per object basis? Yeah or nay? So TLS certificates, client-side TLS certificates. I remember seeing these in the tools. Let's search it up. TLS. It's right here. Network. Right here we can upload our own client TLS certificates. And it looks like we can add it per destination host and the certificate type. So yeah, if we look, sorry, I didn't change that. So if we have uploaded client-side TLS certificates, can we override these on a per object basis? I say yeah. That is what it lets us do. Cool. So introduction to Burp proxy. All right. So the Burp proxy is a fundamental and crucial tool within BurpSuite that enables the capture of requests and responses between the user and the target web server. This intercepted traffic can be manipulated, sent to other tools for further processing, or explicitly allowed to continue to its destination. Key points to understand about Burp proxy. So intercepting requests. When requests are made through the Burp proxy, they are intercepted and held back from reaching the target server. Sorry about that. The requests appear in the proxy tab, allowing for further actions such as forwarding, dropping, editing, or sending them to other Burp modules. To disable the intercept and allow requests to pass through the proxy without interruption, click the intercept is on. So yeah, so intercept is just going to, essentially is in the word is going to hold it, and then if you turn it off, it will automatically just go through and let you go into each page. But if you have intercept on, you're going to have to, every time you click on something, you have to go here and forward or drop each of those requests. So the ability to intercept requests empowers testers to gain complete control over web traffic, making it invaluable for testing web applications. Capture and logging. BurpSuite captures and logs requests made through the proxy by default, even when the interception is turned off. This logging functionality can be helpful for later analysis and review of prior requests. WebSocket support. BurpSuite also captures and logs WebSocket information, providing additional assistance when analyzing web applications. Logs in history. The captured request can be viewed in the HTTP history and WebSocket's history subtabs, allowing for retrospective analysis and sending the requests of to other Burp modules as needed. So here we have the proxy, and we can look at the history of all our HTTP traffic. You can see it has the host, the method, the get request, the URL, which is after the host, and then just some different parameter, like if it has a parameter or not, and if it was edited while it was in the proxy. So a lot of good information. So proxy specific options can be accessed by clicking the proxy settings button. These options provide extensive control over the proxy's behavior and functionality. Familiarize yourself with these options to optimize your Burp proxy usage. So some notable features are the response interception. So by default, the proxy does not intercept server responses unless explicitly requested on a per request basis. The intercept responses based on the following rules checkbox, along with the defined rules, allows for a more flexible response interception. Okay, did not know that. The match and replace section in the proxy settings enables the use of regular expression, regex, to modify incoming and outgoing requests. This feature allows for dynamic changes such as modifying the user agent or manipulating cookies. So take the time to explore the proxy options. Let's look at these on here. Tools proxy, and we can see a lot of those rules that they were talking about. At the listeners, pre-request or the request interception rules. So right now we're just getting everything. Yeah. Response interception matches text. Cool. So everything's just default right now, just like they're talking about. So we'll complete that. There we go. Whoop whoop. So we are about halfway there. Almost there. So a bit of a long module. We're gonna start the virtual machine on their side. And we're just gonna wait for the IP. While we wait, let's read this fun knowledge of Foxy Proxy. So we can install that. Just go into the Mozilla, to the Firefox extensions like store, and then you search it up and just install it. So in the attack box that TryHackMe provides and Kali, it should already come with Foxy Proxy. We can check it right now by going to here, going into Firefox. And extensions. So actually, I don't believe it actually comes with Foxy Proxy. Let's get that. Foxy Proxy standard. So we're just gonna add that. I don't really care about private windows. And we're just gonna open it. Right there we have Foxy Proxy. Cool. So create burp proxy configuration and the Foxy Proxy options pop up. Click the options button. And then we're just gonna add a new proxy configuration. We're just gonna give it this. Create proxy. I think they changed it a little bit. This says add. Let me look at these. Here we go. Let's add. We're just going to call it burp. Host name's going to be 127.0.1, then 8080. Those are going to be the connection to BurpSuite. So go back over here. You can see that those are the configurations. The port that I wanted was 8080. And we're just going to save that configuration. So go back, hit save. See if that works. Did that save? I'm just gonna take off the headset because I don't really need the headset. But I liked a little bit. We're good. that actually saving it? Not sure if it is. Yeah, it is. Cool. So now we have this proxy. Well, so we saved it, and then now we just gotta activate it. So let's activate it. Let's go back to BurpSuite. So click on the Foxy icon, like burp configuration, and then this is going to redirect all the traffic through the proxy now. So now, if we go into the proxy settings for proxy intercept, we can turn it on. And if we route some traffic, which is going to go into the IP of the virtual machine we're going to be testing it on. I'm just going to get rid of that and visit this. So right there, what you saw is before this, we did a GET request for this IP, and that request was intercepted by Foxy Proxy and then sent into BurpSuite, and then BurpSuite just popped up and it's like, hey, we got a request, a GET request to this host, this user agent with all this other information. You want to drop it or you want to actually forward it? That's pretty cool, right? So we intercepted our first request. Not pretty cool. So now we're going to check out the, sorry, didn't put it right there. So now we're just going to do task 10, which is sitemap and issue definitions. So the target tab in BurpSuite provides more than just control over the scope of our testing. It consists of 3 subtabs. The sitemap, this subtab allows us to map out the web applications we are targeting in a tree structure. Every page that we visit while the proxy is active will be displayed on the sitemap. This feature enables us to automatically generate a sitemap by simply browsing the web application. In BurpSuite Professional, we can also use the sitemap to perform automated crawling of the target, exploring links between pages, and mapping out as much of the site as possible. Even with BurpSuite Community, we can still utilize the sitemap to accumulate data during our initial enumeration steps. It is particularly useful for mapping out APIs, as any API endpoints accessed by the web application will be captured in the sitemap. Issue definitions. Although BurpSuite does not include the full vulnerability scanning functionality available in BurpSuite Professional, you will still have access to a list of all the vulnerabilities that the scanner looks for. The issue definitions section provides an extensive list of web vulnerabilities, complete with descriptions and references. This resource can be valuable for referencing vulnerabilities and reports or assisting in describing a particular vulnerability that may have been identified during manual testing. And then the scope settings. This setting allows us to control the target scope in BurpSuite, enables us to include or exclude specific domains/IPs to define the scope of our testing. By managing the scope, we can focus on the web applications we're specifically targeting and avoid capturing unnecessary traffic. That's really important setting, right? You want to set up your scope during an engagement to make sure you don't hit an IP that you're not supposed to hit. So very important. So overall, the Target tab offers features beyond scoping, allowing us to map out web applications, fine-tune our target scope, and access a comprehensive list of web vulnerabilities for reference purposes. So here we have a challenge. It says take a look around the site that they're provided. We'll be using this a lot throughout the module. Visit every other page that is linked on the home page. Then check your sitemap. One endpoint should stand out as being very unusual. Visit this in your browser. Right. So let's go back into Kali. And we're going to forward this one there. I'm just going to turn off that. So we're just going to look at the sitemap, right? Not sure we waited too long for that. that working? Let me verify this. Having some technical difficulties here. I know exactly what's happening. So the issue was we never set up our OpenVPN. So I'm just going to run that real quick. And there we go. Now we look on target and our sitemap and see that it's making a map. So it says just click around the links. So I'm gonna do exactly that. And about, cool stuff. Here's some people. So contact page, support page, products page. Maybe this thing does something else. Let's just go back to the sitemap, right? So immediately I see this and I'm just like, what is that? I don't know what that is. So the sitemap, what's cool about it is it's going to create the whole structure of everything that is publicly facing for the website, right? So that all the assets, right, all the images that they're using of the execs, it should be storing them right here. The JavaScript files, they're all right here. Contact. Each of these are individual pages that we accessed, and we can see the response from the server for each one of these. But this one right here, not sure where we got it from. It says /5y, whatever. And the response was a flag, a THM flag. So we're just going to copy this and go back into THM, TryHackMe, and copy that. Just like that, we have completed the sitemap and issues definition. So the BurpSuite browser, which honestly, I've used BurpSuite for a lot of capture the flags, and I've captured a lot of flags with it. And every single time that I've used BurpSuite, and I'm not the best at this. I wouldn't even consider myself good at this. But during capture the flags, I always use the built-in browser for BurpSuite because it's just always been easier to set up. But Foxy Proxy is pretty cool. You can just set it up with any browser. I'm not sure if they have that extension for other browsers that are not Firefox, but it's pretty cool. You can just set it up with your own. But here, the built-in one uses Chromium. So maybe you just don't like Chrome and you want to do Firefox. It's whatever. I usually just go with Chromium and it gets the job done. But right here, if you go to Proxy, subtab Intercept, you can hit Open Browser, and that's going to open up a Chromium browser that will do the same exact thing that the Foxy Proxy has been using. This is a browser that's automatically configured to route all traffic into BurpSuite's proxy. So right here, it just says Smart Option. I'm sorry. So there are many settings related to Burp browser and the project options and user option settings. Make sure to explore it and customize them as needed. However, if you're running BurpSuite on Linux as the root user, as is the case with the attack box, you may encounter an error preventing Burp browser from starting due to the inability to create a sandbox environment. So there are two simple solutions, and it just says to create a new user and then running it with that, or just go into the settings and allow BurpSuite browser to run without a sandbox. Which, you know, that's a workaround for this TryHackMe module. Definitely not a setting I would check if I'm running that on an actual engagement, right? Because you want to run it on a sandbox environment, especially if you're researching some sort of malware and you're looking up websites that it's trying to talk to. Definitely run in a sandbox environment. Task 12, scoping and targeting. So finally, we come to one of the most important aspects of using BurpSuite, or Burp Proxy, scoping. Capturing and logging all the traffic can quickly become overwhelming and inconvenient, especially when we only want to focus on specific web applications. This is where scoping comes in. By setting a scope for the project, we can define what gets proxied and logged in BurpSuite. We can restrict BurpSuite to target only specific web applications we want to test. The easiest way to do this is by switching to the Target tab, right-clicking on our target from the list on the left, and selecting Add to Scope. Burp will then prompt us to choose whether we want to stop logging anything that is not in the scope. And in most cases, we have to select yes. So right here, I think they put a GIF, and just showing you how it's adding it to the scope from that sitemap. And that's it. Right. So just right click, add to scope. So to check our scope, we just go to the scope settings and then the target tab, and then you'll see it be put in there. So the scope settings window allows us to control our target scope by including or excluding domain/IPs. This section is powerful and worth spending time getting familiar with. However, if we disabled logging for out of scope traffic, the proxy will still intercept everything. To prevent this, we need to go to the proxy settings subtab and select and URL is in target scope. Got it. That's going to actually prevent it from intercepting the traffic. The other setting is just preventing it from logging that that connection. So, interesting. So, and to your scope and change the proxy settings to only intercept traffic to end scope thread. So let's go do that. You showed us how to do it. So we go to our sitemap. We have this right here. Use add to scope. You have added an item to target scope. Do you want Burp proxy to stop sending out of scope items to the history of other? Yes. Now we hit yes on that. And we're just going to go to the settings for proxy. And we're going to see that it added that. I'm sorry, not there. Where did it add that again? Look at this. Okay, because that's part of the scope settings, that's why. So it's part of the project scope settings, and you see it right here. It is in the scope. And for the proxy settings, we just want to make sure that the interception rules are and URLs in the scope. That's going to change that. Cool. So we did it. Response. Copy. And we want to do that for response and request. I did not do that. We're going to go back into settings, proxy, and here's the request, and then also response. I want to have both right there for the global settings. Cool. So let's go back into here, and we're on task 13, proxying HTTPS. So we know HTTPS is encrypted using TLS. So while intercepting HTTP traffic, we may encounter an issue when navigating to sites with TLS enabled. For example, when accessing a site like HTTPS google.com, we may receive an error indicating that the port swigger certificate authority is not authorized to secure the connection. This happens because the browser does not trust the certificate presented by BurpSuite. To overcome this issue, we can manually add the port swigger CA certificate to our browser's list of trusted certificate authorities, and here's how to do it. So you would navigate to burp/cert. This will download the file called cacert.der. We save the file to the machine, and then in the Firefox certificate settings, about preferences, we can view certificates and add, or I guess import the CA certificate. And then trust the CA identifies websites and click OK. And then you're able to log into Google. If you're not using the tag box in Figure Firefox or right, so right here we can visit google.com and try it out as they did it. Make sure I put the HTTPS, and let me make sure I go back. There we go. So here we go, Google, and it automatically was trusted. So it looks like we don't need to do that, but out of curiosity, we can go here on Firefox. We can go into security. If it should be on security. So yeah, right here we view certificates. And for some reason that port swigger certificate is already trusted. It didn't let it through without giving us a warning. I'm not sure what it was called though. We do have the proxy enabled. I'm not entirely sure why that worked, but go back here. So we're just gonna do an example attack. Quick little thing, right? So we're going to the ticket page. And we're going to read this before we go on. Okay. So having looked at how to set up and configure a proxy, let's go through a simplified real-world example. We will start by taking a look at the support form at the IP/ticket, right? So in a real-world web app pen test, we would test this for a variety of things, one of which would be cross-site scripting, or XSS. If you have not encountered XSS, it can be thought of as injecting a client-side script, usually JavaScript, into a web page in a way that it executes. There are various kinds of XSS. The type that we are using here is referred to as reflected XSS, as it only affects the person making the web request. So we're going to do that classic alert injection into the contact email field. So let's do that. Let's see what happens. Right here, we got everything right here. And just notice one thing, since we added that scope, it let us go to Google, right? But it did not add the Google sitemap here, right? It's still only showing that IP. This thing's showing because that was accessed before we added only this to the scope, but now it's actually only capturing things from this website. So let's throw in that injection right here. We're just throwing a script tag, and this should just give us a little alert saying successful XSS. Or I guess that did not work, right? You should find that there is a client-side filter in place which prevents you from adding special characters that are not allowed. Okay. Interesting. So let me go back here. So it looks like we already had it here. Okay. So yeah. It looks like it's not going to let you do that because there's a client-side filter in place. And what client-side filter in place means is that there's something on the HTML that is prohibiting HTML or like a client-side JavaScript that's just not allowing us to put that in the field. But just because we can't put that on the field doesn't mean we can send a modified GET request with exactly what we're trying to do, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do here, right? So we're going to make BurpProxy active again with intercept on, and we're gonna enter some legitimate support form, right? So let's do that, right? Let's go in here. It's not letting us, right? It says please enter a real email address because there's a filter in place, and it's like, hey, that's not an email, right? So let's go into the BurpSuite, the sitemap, and we're gonna see that we don't have that form here yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a legitimate thing here. Let's just say test@test.com, right? And we're just gonna put test for the type your query here. And now that query was submitted. Now the issue right now is that that was not captured in our proxy, right? Because we don't have intercept on. So let's do that again. Test@test.com and then test. We're going to submit that query. We'll see that it intercepted a post request to the website, right? It has an email parameter and a content parameter. So why don't we just change this email parameter into that script, right? I'm not sure of the syntax here, if we would escape it or not. If we just put it in a string, let me look at the, let's look at this. Okay, so it looks like we should actually just be able to run it without manipulating it. I'm gonna take that out, and we're just gonna forward that. We modified it, and now we're just gonna forward the post request to the server and see what happens. So it says successful XSS, right? It reflected that post request to us. We were able to do a cross-site scripting attack, right? So let's go back into TryHackMe. And that was it, right? We did a successful cross-site scripting attack. Really easy stuff here. Just to try and get familiar with just really the proxy aspect of BurpSuite. We're able to do that. And this thing clicks. There we go. Conclusion. Alrighty, congratulations on completing the BurpSuite basics room. You have now a solid you now have a solid understanding of the BurpSuite interface, configuration options, and the BurpSuite proxy. These skills will be essential as you continue your journey in web and mobile application penetration testing. To further enhance your skills, hey, what's up, Bookish? I'm not sure when you talked, but to further enhance your skills, I encourage you to practice and experiment with BurpSuite, explore its features, try different configurations, and familiarize yourself with its various tools. The more you use BurpSuite, the more proficient you will become in identifying and exploiting vulnerabilities in web applications. In the next room of the module, we will dive deeper into BurpSuite Repeater, another powerful tool for manual testing and manipulation of web application requests. Stay curious and keep learning. So, again, really good module, really good room. It's created by TryHackMe, Maryland. Gotta give them credit. If it lets me go down. Yes, we'll share it on YouTube. So Maryland, Oracle, and L000G1C. So shout out to those guys for creating this room. It's pretty old, almost a year old, but that is it for this video, guys. So if you want to check out any of my other videos, make sure to check them out on the channel. If you haven't created a virtual machine, go ahead and do it. Check out the video. I'm attaching it right here. Please check it out. But please subscribe, like the video, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace out. So we're gonna stop that. And all right, so we're good. We're done with that. All right, guys, so that was a stream. A couple people came by. Some people said hello. Appreciate you guys coming by. Next time, I will be doing a more proper stream, and hopefully I can just add a couple new things. But hey, the best way to to learn is by using things. anyways, started the stream and just YOLO'd it, right? So I'll see you guys on the next stream. Make sure you check out the videos. You guys already know this. Have a good night.